Hey, Dr. Robertson, what are we learning about today?
Today, we're going to learn about the layout of the menu, so sort of the physical design of putting the print on paper.
Sweet.
Okay, so here's one rule to keep in mind when you're designing a menu. The cheapest way to create your menu is on an 8.5, 11 piece of paper.
Yeah,
Why?
because
Why do you
it's
think that is?
common. It's
Yeah,
super
because it's
common.
common.
Everybody uses 8.5 by 11. You can buy a ream of it for next to nothing.
Yeah. Now you can go to 8.5 by 14, which is like legal size, and that's a little bit more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But when you start getting into anything that is custom sized, it's going to cost a lot more.
Well, and it's also going to cost more to bind those and to find something to hold them.
Yeah, and so we're talking like going to a non-standard size menu, double or triple as expensive.
Yeah.
Um, so some of the things to think about. Now, a bigger menu has some benefits. It's like we can use more images and larger print, and that may be nice if we're appealing to an older demographic.
Mm-hmm.
Dessert menus and table tents tend to be smaller.
Makes sense.
Um, if a menu is too big, it tends to be clumsy and it's awkward at the table. You're knocking things over. There's no space for it on the table.
Yeah. Where are you going to set it down? The thing takes up the entire table.
But if it's too small, it's going to have to be thick and have a lot of pages, and maybe you won't be able to read it or see it as well.
Nobody wants to read a novel.
Yeah.
All right. So what, we can do a single sheet?
Yeah. So like one sheet of paper, we can do it just on the front or front and back.
Mm-hmm.
Or we can go to a folio, which is like the fold out, like a book. So one page on either side. Again, we can go to like a book, like if you've ever been to a Cheesecake Factory, they have a book. I have all sorts of issues with the way Cheesecake Factory operates, and that's one of them. Their menu is too big.
You know, confession here, I've never eaten at a Cheesecake Factory.
I will just go ahead and have a hard take and say you're not missing much.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm not.
Yeah.
You know, no matter how Big Bang Theory try to sell me on it, you know.
Not a fan.
We got the trifold.
Which is two sides, it's in a middle, so it's like it basically folds out.
Yeah.
You can get more information on there. And this is a common layout design for restaurant menus.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can have ones that are custom, that are cut with a particular shape. Maybe it fits with the theme of your restaurant to have a particular shape, but it's going to be expensive.
Yeah, and how much does it really add to the experience?
Yeah. So when you design a menu, it's not just a matter of cramming as much stuff on the page as possible. So one of the ideas that we think about is this idea of white space. So white space is where your eyes can rest,
Mm-hmm.
or you can use for design. But the more white space you have, the cleaner the layout looks, the more professional, the more elegant it looks. But kind of what we're competing against with this, though, is we have to provide information. So we're always kind of like trying to cram as much on there as possible while trying to keep it open and looking good at the same time.
Well, and that space helps like separate items so that people can easily kind of just hone in on the different items and do a quick glance instead of having to really search hard.
Right. And so we want to have space on there that we save for things like food safety statements. The consumption of raw or undercooked food poses a health. Those sorts of things we have to have printed on the menu. We're legally required to have that.
Ooh,
So,
hot zones.
The hot zones.
All right.
So it's kind of interesting. When you design a menu, there are certain places on the menu where the eye naturally goes. So if we have a bifold menu, like one that folds out like a book, the human eye, most people are going to look to the top and to the right. So that top right place should be your most profitable item, the one you want to sell the most.
Yeah.
Your least profitable item should probably be bottom right, because that's going to be the last place people look on a menu. So if you have an item that you need to have on there for whatever reason, but let's say it doesn't make much money or it's really complicated, you don't want to sell a lot of them, that's where it should be located. So you're, like it says here, the top half of the page on the right, and that's where you want to put items.
Yeah.
Beverages can be at the start or the end of a menu. It matters less.
Because people are going to search out the beverages no matter what anyways. Right.
Yeah, it's like, hey, do they serve Coke or Pepsi products here? I'm going to go there. I'm going to go digging through and look. So you can try, play with your images and play with your fonts and all to try and get your profit items in the hot zone where people are going to look. And they're in different menu layouts have different hot zones.
Yeah.
Another way that we can try and draw attention for people to items is we can do inserts or clip-ons. So these are, you get a menu and on the front page there's a smaller menu stuck to it with a special.
Yeah. Or just that full page that can come out of the menu. Right. People are going to sit there and just take a look.
Yeah.
Because they assume that it's something special.
Yeah, it gets people's attention. And what you do with your clip-ons, you don't want to cover other high-profit items.
No.
But, put it on there to draw people's attention, maybe get them to try that new item. It's with prices. Again, pricing fonts tend to be smaller because we want people to focus on the product, not the price.
Yeah.
You'll never see a menu that's designed that has the prices on the left and big prominent size and then the description out on the right and have it ordered by price. No one is ever going to go through and order their menu, put their menu together based by prices, because we don't want people looking at prices. We want people selecting the item that looks best. So we're going to try and make our most profitable items the ones that sell.
Yeah.
So we don't highlight the prices. We don't make them bold. We don't draw attention to them.
Yeah. And don't put in the dollar symbol.
Yeah, we don't put them in order. And don't highlight one price as a bargain, because that does a couple things. It's going to drive people to buy that item and not buy your other items. So you're basically, by featuring prominently, highlighting a price as a bargain, you're teaching your customers not to buy the items that make money for you. Paper texture. If you have a fancy restaurant, you should have nice paper. If you have a casual restaurant, you can get by with lighter weight paper. If you have thin paper, it'll probably need to be laminated or at least under a cover.
Yeah, and for love of Pete, make sure your covers are clean. Nobody likes to get a menu that has sauce on it from 5 customers ago.
Or the mysterious glob stuck to it.
Ugh.
Yeah. And if we're going to have pictures in our menu, we want glossy paper.
Yeah.
Font style. Most important rule of font. It should be easy to read.
Who would think? I mean, I personally, I want to go with that death metal font, that you can't understand anything that's written there. Well,
what I see in a lot of fancy restaurants is they'll go with the one that's sort of like a cursive font. And it's like, that's great, but no one can read it. And
well, especially I don't know, maybe the younger generations, are they teaching it anymore? How to write in cursive? I don't know. I'm pretty sure my nephew cannot.
Fonts without a serif tend to be modern. So, Matt, you know what a serif is?
No, what is a serif?
So a serif is, if you have a font, so imagine like the letter S, if it has like little 90-degree cross marks at the ends of the curves. That's a serif, which is like imagine looking at an old Bible. They have all the ornate writing in there, and they'll end the letters with serifs. But modern letters tend to be kind of just straight down and easy to read.
Yeah. The traditional fonts are hard to read. Yeah. Not only, I mean, the script, the cursive, it looks, I don't know, it just doesn't look as good to me.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's weird.
Font. It needs to be big, 12 to 14 at least.
Well, and this is where you got to know your demographic. If you are catering to older crowd, right? Yeah. You know, you don't want everybody sitting there doing this and, you know.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet that none of the students have ever seen me without my glasses.
Yeah.
And that's because I can't see.
It's not always a bad idea to have a large font menu available.
Yeah.
Just in case. You know, I bring in my grandma. Just bring that to the table.
So you're comparing me to your grandma.
Well, I mean, you do have longer hair than her.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
So the headings should be larger than the descriptions.
Makes sense.
We need space between the headings and the lines so people can read. You don't just like get tight piles of text stuck together. It's hard to read.
Yeah.
You want to be consistent in, you know, you don't, it's like just because your computer has 400 fonts on it doesn't mean you should use all 400. And go ahead.
Yeah, the font thing, not all fonts have the same amount of space in between the words either. So it's the spacing that kind of plays in that too. If the words are just kind of mushed together, really, it can look better on a computer than it does when you just print it off. Do yourself a favor and print a sample copy before you pay to get it to look nice. Bold and italics.
Yeah, and you know, limit the use. Not everything should be bolded and italicized.
And not everything should be all caps, right?
Right.
We don't need to be shouting at our customers to buy this now.
Yeah,
it's weird.
World's best blooming onion.
Sunday, 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 blooming onion. Nice.
So, you know, what we should do is highlight some dishes. So we should have items that we do things like the font is in a different color, or the menu is highlighted in a different color.
Yeah.
Or there's a symbol next to it, or it's enclosed in a print box. These are all things that highlight an item. And the things that we want to highlight are typically high profit items. Other things that we want to feature are things like nutritional information. Hey, this is a diet-friendly dish. This is a spicy dish. You know, it has a little pepper next to it. Or this is our chef special.
Yeah. This last point, you cannot stress enough. Don't overuse.
Yeah, if everything is special, nothing is.
No. Yeah.
So if we use pictures, they should match the theme and brand. So think about who your customer is and have photos that appeal and match with that that sort of brand idea. We can use illustrations, and we want to make sure we use pictures that aren't blurry.
Well, and so let's say we pay somebody, we're a small restaurant, to take nice photos of our stuff. And we decide to change all of our plateware and everything else, but our photos are still from 3 plate or designs ago. Update every now and then. It doesn't hurt.
So menu covers. So we're talking about if you print your own menus, they go inside of you know, like a leather cover, like a booklet. As a way to present the menu. You don't have to do that. I mean, you can just present the paper or a laminated piece of paper, or even an unlaminated piece of paper if you want. But the booklets look nice. Yeah. The booklets allow for you to change your menu because if it changes, you can pull the page out, print a new one, stick it in.
Yeah.
What you do want is you want something that is easy to clean and sturdy.
Yeah, easy to clean and that will just last a long time. Nothing worse than when you get a menu and it's falling apart and just...
Yeah, it's a booklet, but like the plastic covering's ripped, you know, the edging is come undone. It's like, it doesn't look professional. It doesn't look nice.
No, and it's
not sanitary.
And it speaks about how your business is run too. You know, if you can't take care of that, are you taking care of any of the other stuff that's more important?
Right, that the guest isn't seeing.
Yeah.
So, you know, if it's dirty, torn, or stained, you want to replace that. You want to make sure that the pages on the inside have a covering over them because people are going to be touching them and they smear, they have things on their hands.
Yeah, and especially now it's important that you're able to sanitize all this stuff.
Yeah. So. And, you know, you can lamination is actually coating the pages in plastic It can be done relatively inexpensively. It's more permanent. It's more durable.
Yeah.
Depending on how often you change your menu, that may be a direction you want to go. You don't have to, though.
No, no rule saying you have to.
Yeah, this works best having like a free menu or a coverless menu if it's a single page. What you can't do is go to a guest and hand them like 8 pages of
loose leaf
paper and like, here's your menu in no particular order.
Good luck. Not gonna work.
Yeah, like, here, take this.
Just toss it on the table, let all the pages go randomly.
Yeah.
No.
You want to put the restaurant's name at the top. You want to print it on high quality paper.
Yeah.
But it's nice because this is easy to customize. So for things like weddings or special events, or catered events, or situations where eating in the restaurant is kind of a special occasion, a printed menu is a good idea. The guest can take it home as a memento.
Well, and the nice thing about this, if you're printing them yourself, is that it gets dirty, you toss it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're gonna be able to maintain that image where the book or the folder might start to fall apart. This, just hit print.
Yep. So, this is one of those sections that I think printers, everyone has a printer available to them now. You can use a professional printer, like going to someone who prints it for you. It has some benefits. They're going to have better machinery.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to look nicer. It's going to be more resistant to smearing and smudges. It's going to cost more than if you print your own. Mm-hmm. And you'll need to think about, they're going to need the person who's printing it. If they lay it out for you, you're going to pay for that service. If you lay it out yourself, you need to put it in a software that they can use. And generally, if you send it to them, they're going to print it. So if there's an error, that's on you.
Yeah. But there's also the ability to get it binded if you send it off to a professional printer, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. So you can use a professional menu designer. And these people are great because they know things like, where's the hot zone on the menu? What paper is going to hold up the last? Which font is easiest to read? They can do things like design, you do your business designs for you. So your letterhead, your logos, your business cards, all that. One person can design all that. So you have a common theme and a common brand. Well, and they can also help you with your website
design.
Yeah.
Now this is something that kind of important to point out, that this is yet another career that you can do from hospitality, is being one of those people that goes in and helps start up restaurants by helping them with their menu designing and everything else.
Right.
So if this is something that you really have a knack for, find a way to monetize it.
Yeah. You can print yourself though, if you want to do that. I mean, everybody has a printer now. It's great if your menu is simple or if your menu changes a lot. You'll probably want to have a good quality printer. You don't want to use the cheap $99 printer that you got at Walmart, because you can do that, but
it's only going to last for a very short amount of time.
You'll probably want to print straight in black and white and not use much as far as images go. Yeah. Because again, the lower quality print.
Yeah.
So how many menus do I print? It depends. So what's the lifespan of this menu? Well, if it is a single page menu without a book, the lifespan of that menu may be a day. Yeah. Whereas if it is an established restaurant and these are laminated pages presented in a booklet, maybe it's a year. And so, that will determine in part how many you need to print. How often does your menu change will determine how many you want to print. Because if your menu changes a lot, then you don't want to print a lot. You don't want to have a bunch of them. If you're doing it professionally, basically what you want to do, for a menu that's going to be in a booklet, probably order about 3 times the number of seats. And that'll be a 6-month supply. So if you have 100 seats in your restaurant, you probably want to order 300 menus, because they're going to get worn. They're going to get destroyed. They're going to get stolen. They're going to get thrown away. They're just going to wear out.
Yeah.
If your menu doesn't change, then you can order more because you're going to get a price break if you order larger quantities. So we're always kind of balancing these things. Takeout menus. Generally, these are done pretty cheaply. If you think about takeout menus you've gotten from Chinese restaurants or any restaurants, it's basically a folded piece of paper.
Yeah. Just takeout menu.
Yeah. You'll get them, they're stuck under the windshield wiper of your car. So we want them to be designed so they're easy to read and they provide the information, but they're done cheaply. Okay.
The menu boards. So yeah, pretty much any barbecue restaurant you got to.
Yeah.
Or where you're ordering from a counter,
Right.
you're going to have a menu board. That way it needs to be large enough that people waiting in line can sit there and look at it and kind of know what they want before they get to the front of the line.
Yeah, so it could be like a hard plastic one with, like, say, images, or it could be one where you have different letter, like typeface that you change on it. It could be chalkboards. It could be panels that you switch out. There are lots and lots of options here.
Yeah, TVs that just are displays that, electronically, automatically update and everything.
Yeah, and typically what we're balancing here is the ease of changing the menu with the professional appearance. Like, there's not much easier than a chalkboard. Oh wow, we're out of baked potatoes. Just the eraser, it's gone. But then you got the big blank slot in your menu, so it's that balance of ease and professional.
But that can also, I mean, if you just write sold out over it, like, oh wow, that's something that maybe I need to come earlier for next time, because it's super popular.
Right. So we could have, panels that are from behind, panels that change out between meal periods. So if you've ever been through the drive-thru at McDonald's, they have a breakfast menu, they have a lunch menu, and they swap out. Now, basically a lot of menus are more or less they're monitors, and it can display anything.
Yeah. Let's see here. Like it says, it's common in quick service restaurants. We've all been in one. We've all seen them, right? Almost every single place now has the electronic monitors where it just displays what's available currently.
Children's menus.
Single use. Who knew? Right? You're going to want to have things for them to do on the menu.
Keep them cheap and plan on having them destroyed.
Mm-hmm. Who knew that kids are tough on things?
Yeah. So single-use menus, like in a sushi restaurant. So sometimes you can have a menu where the guest orders for themselves. They indicate what they want, and so you can have menus like that. Or in some places, actually, the placemat works as a menu. You can indicate what you're going to order on there, and the server uses that to place your order.
Yeah, I see that at dim sum restaurants as well.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you. This was entertaining.
All right.
All right. Bye.